everyone. Let's start our lesson number 3. Here we will start data handling part 1. In this lesson we are going to do our data type. Okay, so the core data types of Python. We are discuss about the core data types of Python. What are the core data types of Python? Number, string, list, tuple and dictionary. These are the core data types of Python. Let's learn one by one. First one is number data type. Okay, this number data type classified into 3. One is integer, floating point and your complex number. Under integer, it is 2 types, signed integer and your booleans. Okay, floating point, it is fractional form and the exponent form. And third one, your complex number or imaginary number. Let's start with your signed integer. Okay, this signed integer means it is either positive or negative. Okay, it is of 3 types. One is decimal integer, octal integer and the hexadecimal integer. Decimal integer whose base is 10. Decimal means it is has come from the word deca. Deca means 10. The base is 10. So it takes the digits 0 to 9. Okay, and it can be positive or negative. It should not start with the digit 0. That means suppose you are writing 5, you cannot write 0 5. It is only 5. Okay, so you can give 0 unless until you need the digit 0. Okay, and suppose you want to write 45, so it will be only 45. And look at here the example, minus 34, 45 to 90, 0, minus 56, 1000, minus 1 lakh. All these are your integers, means your whole number. Okay, that's about decimal integer. Now come to octal integer. Octal integer, the base is 8 and it allows the digits 0 to 7. Okay, and it starts with the digit 0. It is positive integer. So now just see 0 45, 0 67, 0 74, any number you just you can give that starts with 0, but the digits we have to see only 0 to 7. The third one is hexadecimal integer. The base is 16. The digits is 0 to 15. That's why it takes only 0 to 9 the digits, and the rest 10 to 15 it is assigned the alphabet A to F, either in capital letter or in small letter. Okay, A is for 10, B is for 11, C is for 12, D for 13, E for 14 and F for 15, either capital A to F or small a to F. Now it starts with 0x, either x is in capital or in small letter. 0x56, 0x A67, 0x123. These are all hexadecimal integer. Okay, now let's find out which are the valid integers. Okay, now just see here, integers 45, it is decimal and it's valid. 045, it is octal, starts with 0, that's why it is octal, it is valid. 0x45 hexadecimal, it is valid. 0568, it is octal but it is invalid because the digit is 8. 8 is not allowed as an octal integer. Now 0xabf, it is valid. 0xab5h, h is not a valid hexadecimal digit. Okay, that's why it is a invalid integer. Okay, that's about our signed integer. Now what's to Boolean integer? The Boolean, the word has come from the Boolean algebra, which one is developed by Judge Wool. Okay, and the Boolean integers are here is the truth values. What are the truth values? Either true or false. Why it is considered under the integer? Because true value is 1 and the false value is 0. Okay, that's about your Boolean integer. Next is floating point numbers. Floating point numbers are your real numbers. Okay, so this number has fractional part. Okay, any number with the fractional part means the having the number having decimal point. Okay, it can, that means integer part and the fractional part. Integer part is before the decimal point and after there is the fractional part. So it can be given your fractional form, or you can give it in exponent form. Now number having decimal point, it has to be with the decimal point. It can be positive or negative. Okay, so 4.5 minus 0.6007 and minus 123.89, 0.0, 0.4, 4.0, these are all your floating point numbers, that is your in fractional form. What is your exponent form? Okay, the number having decimal point, since it's a floating point number or real number, it has to be the decimal point. The fractional part can be represented by exponent. Okay, now just see 1.5 E3. Okay, so if you write in mathematical format, so it will be 1.5 into 10 to the power 3. Into 10 is replaced by E. Okay, that is in exponent form, and 3 is the exponent. Okay, so if you want to convert to the fractional part, what will happen? You have to move the decimal point towards left or right based on the exponent. If it is positive, then moves the decimal point towards right. If it is negative, then it moves towards left. How many places? That also based on the exponent. Now look at this example. The exponent is 3. Since it is 3, it will move 3 places towards right. Okay, so 1.5. 0.51 is already there, so 2 more digits will be added. So what are the digits you will add? That is zeros. Okay, the next example is the minus 3. So the decimal point will move towards left. So 1 is there. So what you have to do? We have to add 2 more zeros on the left hand side. So it will be 0.001.5. So one more thing, 1.5 E3. So 0.5 is your Mondays and 3 is your exponent part. Okay, so exponent should be integer and either positive or negative. That means exponent cannot be a real number, cannot be a fractional number. That's about floating point number. Okay, now next to complex number. Complex numbers are the imaginary number represented by J in computer science, but it actually in mathematics is I is the imaginary number. Okay, so they are represented by the expression a plus b j. What is the value of j? J is the square root of -1. Okay, a is the real part and b is the imaginary part. Actually a and b are the real numbers. Since j is joining with the real part, so it is coming as the imaginary number. Let's take the example. 3.0 is the a value and b value is 3.2. Both are the real numbers. Since j is there in the b, so that second part is known as the imaginary part. Okay, so 3.0 plus 3.2, it will be 6.2j. And one more thing we have to remember, so it always returns the result within the parenthesis. Always returns the result within the parenthesis. Okay, I'll repeat, complex number always returns the result within parenthesis. That's about our complex number. Let's discuss with the next data type, string data type. That's also a core data type. What is a string? We have learned already in the first lesson. String is the collection of the characters or sequence of characters enclosed within the double quotes or single quotes. Okay, so these are the string data types. Support this data items, the string type of data items. Any character might be a 0 character. Also with 2 strings, that's also a null string. If there is no character within double quote or single quote, that will form a null string. Or if you want space, that means there is 1 character. Okay, now just see flower is a string because this it's within quotes. And how many characters are there? 6 characters. Now look at the next one. There is 7 characters. Character means it can be alphabets or digits or special symbols or white spaces or escape sequences or no character. If it is no character, as I told you, it is a null string. So even if you the digits are there, if you keep those within the quotes, then it become a string, literal. Okay, these strings are stored in a continuous memory location. Okay, the memory locations where the elements are stored known as the index. Okay, that's why the elements within this are accessed by the index. Now look at here the example. Here is the memory location. Flower is a string we store in continuous memory location. The first one is in the F is the first character and is signed by the index 0, and L is in 1, O is in second index, W is in third index, E is in fourth index, R is in fifth index. Okay, and these are the elements. F, L, O, W, E are the elements, whereas the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are the index. Okay, and come the next one is -5, -6, -4, -3, -2, 1. These are the backward index. 0 to 5, that is your forward index. So indexing we can give in two different ways. You see, elements can be accessed in two different ways. One is forward indexing and the backward indexing. Okay, in forward indexing, it starts from 0 and moves up to your length -1. As I told, the length of the flower is 6 because 6 characters are there. 6 characters are there. So the last index will be 5. That is your length -1. Okay, in reverse indexing, that means your backward indexing, the last character will be the last character is your -1. The first character will be -6. The last character in the minus length, that means this is your forward indexing. The last character is your 5, but in this case, in your backward indexing, the last character is the -1, and in forward indexing, the first character is 0 and the last character is -6. Okay, so it's written first character must be indexed at 0 and forward indexing length in forward indexing, and length -1 in your backward indexing. Okay, the first character. So see, 0 is the in the forward indexing and the minus length is the first character for the backward indexing. In the last character will be the length -1 and the -1 is for the backward indexing. Okay, last character for forward indexing is the length -1 and -1 is for the backward indexing. Okay, suppose you want to access the alphabet W, how will you write? Text, suppose text is the string variable, so text of 3. So for the forward indexing, text of -3 for the backward indexing. Suppose you want to access L, so text of 1 is for forward indexing and text of -1 is for the backward indexing. Okay, this way we can access the string element. Okay, we will learn this string in detail in the string chapter. Next one is the list. List is also another core data type, but it is a compound data type. Why it is called as compound data type? Because it is a one variable carries more than one elements. Okay, it is a collection of more than one element, and elements are separated by commas and enclosed within the square bracket. Okay, now just see data type. This is the list. Look at here, 1 to 5.9 A and RAM. These are the elements of the list and all are separated by comma. You see how many elements are there? There are 5 elements, and the first two are integer, third one is the floating point, and the last two are the strings. That means our list can carry any type of data type. So here also the elements are accessed by index. Okay, look at the example here, 1 to 5.9 A RAM. These are the values, and 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 index. Okay, so how can we access? Just like your string, here also suppose LT is the variable, so to access the third element, so we have to give LT of 2. Suppose you want to access the fourth element, so it will be LT of 3. Okay, always index is position minus 1. Index is always position minus 1. Suppose it's the third position, the index is 2. Fourth position, index is 3. Okay, that way we can calculate. Okay, about list also we will learn in detail in the list chapter. Okay, next is tuple. Tuple is also a compound data type. Here it is almost similar like your list, but in this case what is happening, the elements are enclosed within the parenthesis. Within the parenthesis means your circular bracket. One thing is there, it is immutable data type. That means once it is stored in the memory, it cannot be changed. Suppose 125.9 A RAM, we cannot replace A with any other string, or we cannot replace 2 with any other value, but which can be possible in case of your list. This 2 can be changed. The value of the first index can be changed. That's why it is mutable data type. Remember, list is mutable data type, but tuple is immutable data type. What's the difference? Mutable data type, the values can be changed. Immutable data type, value cannot be changed. List is mutable and tuple is immutable. In case of list, the values are enclosed within the square bracket, whereas tuple, the values are enclosed in the circular bracket or parenthesis. Okay, now the next one here is dictionary. Okay, in dictionary the values are not stored in order. It is not stored in order means they don't follow the index. Here the values are stored according to the key value. That means it is a collection of key value pairs and enclosed within the braces. Braces means your curly bracket. Okay, here there are 3 keys are there, roll number, name and mark, and the values are 2, assist and 67. Roll number is 2, name is assist and mark is 67. 3 pairs of elements. Okay, so how can we access this? Here we can access, suppose the value of first index or first key, that means your first key is roll number, so dictionary of roll number, that then it will print 2. Then D of name, then it will become assist. D of mark, it will become 67. Okay, so since your roll number, name, mark are the string, even while you accessing the key, then also we have to write in your string format. That's about our data type. What are the data types we learn? Number, string, then our tuple, list and dictionary. These are very important code data type of Python. Okay, now let's sum a problem that I gave in the last lesson. That is your area of the rectangle, area and perimeter of square, average mark of the 3 subjects. Okay, let's move to the Python script. Okay, now we will start our Python program. First one is area of the rectangle, then second one is area and perimeter of square, and third one is find the average mark of 3 subject. Okay, in Python script, this ideally this one is your interactive mode, but where we'll do the program in the script mode, then we can save the program. So here is our script mode. First thing we will give, that is our comment line. First we'll find the area of square, area of rectangle. Okay, so rectangle, so we'll give length. Okay, float. Why are we giving float? In case of your Python, whatever input you will enter, that always go in string. So we have to do typecasting. We can give int input, or previous lesson I showed int, and because we are entering the integers, now we are entering here length. That means we are measuring, so it can be in integer or also in float, but float will be more appropriate. So enter length. This is the prompt. Okay, now we will go for breadth. So float input, enter, depth, okay, that's the prompt. While you executing, you will get the prompt. Then we will get the area. Area is L into B, L into B. Then print area, give the prompt, area. We can give area of rectangle too. So AR. Okay, now what you have to do, we need to save the program. Okay, while you executing the program, it will ask to save. Then we can save the program. Let me save in the desktop. You can save anywhere in your folder. This is my first program, today's first program. So let me save it first. Now it will ask you length. So let me write 4.0 and the breadth. So 2.3. So it's the area. The area is 9.2. Okay. So now we will close the screen. Then we will do our next program, new file. What is that? Give the command line. So area and perimeter, area and perimeter of a square, Okay, so here what you have to do, we will just enter the side. We can give float, input, enter, side of the square. Okay, now what is that area? Area equal to side into side. We did not learn the operator. Otherwise we could have used the exponentiation operator, asterisk into asterisk, that we'll learn later. Next lesson we'll learn the operator chapter. So now area and perimeter. So we will give prompt area, that is your AR, print perimeter, PR. Okay, there is a typing error. We have to give the code. Okay, now we'll run the program. We will save it. This is we will save in the desktop. This is our third program. Save and run. Enter the side 4.0. This is area and perimeter. Okay, that's about our second program. Let's do our third program. What is that? Average mark of 3 subjects. Okay, so first way, the English is very common for all stream. English. So int, enter the mark, input, enter mark. Okay, let's take physics. Int, input, any subject name you can write, variable, or you can write subject 1, subject 2, S1, S2, S3 or SV1, any variable name, some valid variable name, enter mark. Okay, then suppose I will enter formats. So int, input, enter mark. Okay, That done. So we will find the total mark. TOT equal to English plus physics plus maths. Okay. Now we'll find the average mark. AV equal to average mark. Total divided by number of subject. How many subject? 3. So now print total mark. Total mark. TOT. Print average mark. AV. Okay, that's we have done with our program. Now we have to run this. While running, it will ask you enter the file name. We need to save it. This is our 4th program. So I'll save it. Enter the mark. Physics first is your English mark 78. Save physics mark 87 and your maths mark say 90. That's your total mark and your average mark. Okay, we have done with 3 programs. So we will stop here and we'll continue lesson number 4 and we'll discuss there some programs plus the operators. Okay,